Bank of North Dakota came in and partnered with Choice. We probably wouldn't be able to get funding in a lot of places in the country just because we are somewhat of an investment-backed company, not always, but have been in the last couple of years. We haven't been profitable on purpose. We've been growing revenue and growing team, but at a point where we're losing money. And so traditionally a bank would have a heck of a lot of risk coming in and financing, say, an acquisition like we made without a partner like Bank of North Dakota.
At Bank of North Dakota, our role is to partner with our local financial institutions, to work with them, to help them work with their borrowers, mitigate risk, focus and access our programs. Essentially, our financial institutions are a delivery channel for the programs that we create, and we're very appreciative and thankful of that relationship. In addition to partnering with our financial institutions, we also feel it important for us, and our role is to know and have a good feel for what other resources exist. For example, programs offered by the Department of Commerce, opportunities and things that the local economic developers can provide, programs offered through USDA, the Small Business Administration, in an effort to really put together a loan structure that builds the best deal for the borrower and the bank.
The Bank of North Dakota stepped in and created an accelerated growth program, and the whole idea behind that is that we will provide a program to provide funding for those businesses to get them over that rapid growth. And the thought process is after that 2 or 3 or 4 years, it becomes a normal part of their business, and then they go on with their traditional financing, and they're off and running, and everybody wins.
This has been a big economic impact to the city of Fargo and to the state of North Dakota.
Absolutely. Technology is going to be one of our driving industries, and it's becoming more and more apparent all the time. And without that program, without the partnership, it probably would lag, and that might slip to another state. There are other cities and states looking at getting into this. They're seeing Fargo excel. I mean, it's very, very important for this. And it's, like Tim said, the economic impact that it's going to have to our state and the cities is unbelievable.
We brought something north of $1.5 million in revenue from other states in the acquisitions to North Dakota. We've grown revenues. We're a primary sector business, which means 75% of our revenues are coming from companies who are primarily operating outside of the state, or the dollars are coming from outside of the state of North Dakota. And this year we'll do about $12 million in revenue, and 3 years ago we were way less than half that, right? I mean, we were quite a bit smaller, and so we've been able to grow revenue as much as we have been able to grow employee count. We're going to be at 140 people now. They're all employed here in Fargo-Moorhead, between the state of North Dakota and Sherwood, Minnesota. And those 140 people, I think we have reasonably good salaries. Probably definitely on the higher spectrum of the average, way above Fargo's normal income for those people. And when they go out and they buy houses when they're 28 years old or 25 years old and buying a house, or buying relatively new cars, I'd always advise let's not do new cars, maybe wait a year. But being able to make those purchases in the state, it's huge. And the salaries, I mean, literally 80% of our cost structure is salaries. And so that's a massive generation of wealth in the state that wouldn't have existed without the loan structures and the ability to grow the company to where we are.
And those are a lot of the tangible things that you see, jobs and growth and revenues, extra revenues you're generating, things like that. But there's a lot of intangible stuff too, where even your outside investors are seeing what's happening here in North Dakota, and they may be interested in bringing their own technology business here, or the company here, the vendors you work with and things like that. I mean, they all see what's going on here, and those are some of the intangible things that doesn't always show up.
I think the outcome ideally for North Dakota is that there's multiple success stories, not just Bushel, that are saying, hey, financing and investing in technology companies in this region work, and the human capital is here, and the actual capital is here, and the infrastructure is here to do that. And if we can do that, then that will just be a long-term benefit to the state from new capital coming in. So hopefully we can prove that model out.
Yep, absolutely.